would just like snack heaps and just like, great, now I can't talk. So I've been vegan for officially a year now. I turned vegan overnight for ethical reasons once watching Earthlings, 100 Reasons to be Vegan and The Best Speech Ever. I kind of binge watched them all on the same night. Turning vegan was probably the best thing I've ever done. And I'm not making this video to force people to be vegan or saying that you have to be vegan and you're not a good person or you won't be healthy. That is definitely not what I'm about, and I definitely don't want to give that off in these videos. It's just that I'm so passionate about this, and it is something that just worked so well for me, and I feel like it's rude and mean and wrong if I don't actually share the benefits and tell you what I'm experiencing. So I get a lot of, not a lot, probably just a few comments here and there just about how, like, you know, veganism is a cult and like everyone's trying to persuade everyone, and that's like like, it's, why would I do this if not to help people? I mean, of course I want to help the animals in the world, blah blah blah, but at the same time I'm not doing this to persuade you or anything. This is just for those who are interested and who requested this video, and maybe those who didn't even want it but now they're watching. Okay, so my first benefit that I felt pretty much a week to 2 weeks after turning completely plant-based was energy levels. I used to rely on coffee most mornings to kind of feel energized, to study, to work out. I was definitely feeling tired. When I get home from school, I'd just crash. I would just like snack heaps and just like watch TV and just feel like dead. Once eating, I don't know if it was not eating fat, cholesterol, and like all of the hormones in the meat and animal products. I think it's more just the abundance of fruit and vegetables. I was never eating that many like in vegetables in bulk, and that's just because I had to fill in my meals. You know, when you turn plant-based, you can still be unhealthy, but it's really hard not to eat lots of fruit and vegetables because it's just, you know, you need to fill up your meal. So I think eating a lot of, especially like greens, like green vegetables, helps everything from energy levels to waking up in the morning to sleeping better. Just my whole energy levels were amazing. And that brings me to the next point, blood test, like in nutrient levels. Before I was vegan, I was always low in iron. Whenever I would get a blood test, it was never anemic to the point where like it was serious, but people would always tell me, you know, you're low in iron, eat more meat, eat more meat. And I was eating red meat 2-3 times a week. Like I was eating a lot of like white meat. I was eating a lot of meat and dairy, you know. So it's kind of like, I eat a lot of this. Like, why aren't I getting enough iron? Anyway, so after 6 months of turning vegan, when I say turning vegan and plant-based, that's abundance of like raw fruits and vegetables is in my diet. I had perfect blood tests, and I went to a naturopath. And she was kind of like, you're eating too much fruit, you're not eating enough, you know, protein, you need to eat more iron, blah, 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 you're not getting enough from your fruits and vegetables. And I was kind of like, you know what, I feel awesome, so let's just kind of see what the blood test says. Got the blood test back, and she was dumbfounded. She's kind of like what? Like, why are your iron levels so high? Like, why is your sugar like perfect? Like all your gluten and glucose and protein, like, oh, just playing with my hair. Sorry. She was like, why is it all so perfect? And she was kind of like, wow, like I definitely see it's working for you. And she was kind of, because she's been trained in the kind of nutritional background that's kind of stereotypically not opposed, like not loves veganism, she was really surprised. So definitely turning vegan, I had better iron levels, like perfect iron levels. They were like above average, and everything else was absolutely perfect. So in regards to nutrients, I have never felt better, and the blood test says my body has never felt better. And that's kind of tying into my next point, as in I feel like it's just easier to be healthier. When I was eating meat and dairy, I definitely had to constrict my calories to stay a thin and slim weight, because when you're eating a high animal product diet, you know, it's the dairy and the meat, and eggs, it's just, they're really high, yes, in protein, but very high in fat and cholesterol and all of that kind of stuff that really just upsets your stomach. There's been lots of studies proven that it's acidic for your body, and I believe that just because I feel so much better without it. I feel like when you turn plant-based, you know, you can't just eat chips all the time. You can't just, you know, sit there and eat junk. Well, you can, but for your main meals like breakfast, lunch and dinner, you have to pack it in with fruits and veggies and raw and cooked and potatoes and whole grains. And I feel like just eating like that, it's so much simpler, it's easier, it's easier to cook, it's easier to buy for, it's kind of easier to digest and everything. It's just easier for me. It's easier to stay the same slim weight without even really trying. I used to exercise a lot more than I do now. I feel the same, I feel energetic, I feel better than when I was working out like crazy and constricting my calories. This is something I struggled with my whole life. Hair, skin and nails, they were always pretty bad. Since I was 11, I had quite not acne, but quite a lot of pimples are on my face, and like always on my nose, and always on my chin, on my cheek, always on my forehead. My hair never ever, this is as long as my hair has ever been. That's weird because it's not even that long, but my hair never used to grow, never. As much zinc and iron and meat I ate, my hair and nails have never been this strong. My hair has never been this thick. It's always been falling out. It's always been really brittle. And I do have some other tips that I will make a video on, but just the skin, hair and nails, it just never ever felt so good. And I thought I was just like genetically didn't have good skin, hair and nails, but now I just see my body was really lacking nutrients, and maybe it just wasn't reacting well to the animal products I was pretty much addicted to. The other main benefits that I experienced superficially, you could say, the biggest one by far is this one, and it is something that I'm really passionate about, and it's something that I do often get a little bit emotional about. For the first time in my life, this is going to sound really generic, but I just feel like I'm connected to something that's true, that's life-changing, and that is going to really help the planet, the animals, the earth, and our whole society's well-being. Not turning vegan overnight, but just eating more of a plant-based diet is just going to benefit the whole world. I mean, what's the #1 killer for human beings at the moment? It's heart disease. And what is the #1 cause of heart disease? Cholesterol. You cannot have cholesterol in plant-based foods, and I feel like just that fact alone would help so many people who are struggling with their weight, with heart problems, just all that really scary stuff that is in my family, and really breaks my heart when I see relatives who are struggling on a really high fat animal product based diet. That really breaks my heart when I see people, especially young girls, like constricting calories, not being able to eat enough, thinking that they're not deserving. And it's more than that though. It just, everything makes sense to me, and without trying to sound, I'm convincing you, because I'm not. I'm just telling you what happened for me. And I think when I initially went vegan, there was a lot of rage, and there was a lot of kind of, like, why don't people know this? But now I've just had it for a year, I'm comfortable and I love it. I just feel like promoting it for what it is, and that is positivity, and that is warmth, and that is, cruelty-free and kindness, and all those things that I think it does give you. And I think I've never been so calm. I've never had such stable emotions. When I was younger and when I was growing up, I just really wanted a purpose. I really wanted to kind of do something with my life and really make a difference. And I feel like I found a passion that really resonates with me. And I'm not saying you have to have this passion too. I feel like it gave me spiritual alignment to what my purpose is and what I love doing, and what I want to continue to help inspire others to, reap these benefits. Because I feel like a positive, healthy, a vibrant, active planet is exactly what we need. I just feel like I wish I would have watched this video, when I was 0. I wish my parents would have known this. I wish the world just lived like this. I wish I would have known these benefits and this video before I was vegan. Okay, so that's the top 5 benefits that I felt after going vegan from a whole year. I can safely say that veganism, going to a plant-based diet, has changed my health, attitude to the world, how I see things, and definitely made me feel like I have a purpose. I'm not trying to say that you have to have all these benefits, or everyone's going to have these benefits, or everyone has to be vegan. Of course not. This is just me trying to be as open and as real as possible. And that kind of defeats the purpose when you say you're trying to be real. Keeping it real. So, wow, I'm just going to leave before I keep saying weird things.